everyone, welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. My name is Stephanie and today we are going to be learning how to make this wall hanging. I've named this wall hanging Jean Ann after my Aunt Jean Ann because she is so wonderful to me. She always has been. You know, I come to her with crazy ideas like, hi, I know that I've never mentioned this before, but I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And then, hi, I know that I've never talked about this before, but I'm going to start a yarn company with somebody that I don't know that lives on the other side of the world. And she always, always, always supports me. So this is my tribute to my lovely Aunt Jean Ann, and I hope that you guys are going to enjoy making it as much as I have enjoyed designing it. For this project, you are going to need one ball of Eco Lush yarn that is 60% cotton, 40% bamboo, and it is in a fingering weight. It's 200 meters. You're going to use almost all of it for this project. We're also going to use a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook to work on the project. That's what it looks like once it's all done and hanging up on the wall. Please excuse my shadow. I'm trying not to get my shadow in there, but that's it, guys. Are you guys ready? You want to get into it? Let's go ahead and get into it. To begin, we are going to make a magic ring. I am a fan of the double magic ring, so to do that, you are going to wrap the yarn around your fingers 3 times, tuck that tail in between your pointer finger and your thumb, take your hook, slip it under the first 2, grab that third and pull it through. Then you're just going to turn, and you should be able to move freely. You can slide to the back here. This right here is your working yarn. You're just going to grab that and pull it through. And at this point you can let go of the tail, but hold on to the ring because you don't want to lose your work. Now for round 1, we are going to place 20 single crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So you're going to pull up on your yarn so you don't lose your work. And now we're going to close the double magic ring, and this is where a lot of people mess up because they just try to pull on this tail like you would a normal magic ring. You can't do that with the double magic ring. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to look at these 2 pieces of yarn right there, and you're going to pull ever so slightly on your tail and watch them. One of them is going to move over here on this side. Ever so gently pull on it. See how the bottom one is moving? That's the one that we want to close first. So we're going to pull from the opposite side, and it's going to close the one behind it. And we're not going to be able to close this super tight because there's so many single crochets in there, but we can make a nice little circle just like that. So now you're going to go back into your loop, and you are going to find your first single crochet, and you are going to slip stitch to it. Maybe. There we go. And just slip stitch to it. And that is the end of round 1. To begin round 2, we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is going to count as a double crochet plus a chain 2. So we're going to skip this next stitch right there, and we are going to place a double crochet in the next stitch. Double crochet, and then we are going to chain 2. Then we're going to skip the next stitch, and we're going to do this 9 times. So we're skipping that stitch and going into this next stitch, double crochet, chain 2, skipping that stitch, double crochet in the next. Remember, we have to do this a total of 9 times. So we've done 3. We need 6 more. Oh, did I chain? Nope, I did not. Chain 2. Don't forget to do that. Skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 2, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 2, skip a stitch right there, double crochet in the next, chain 2, skip, double crochet, chain 2, skip, double crochet. Should be getting close. Chain 2, skip, double crochet, chain 2, and let's count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then here is our chain. So we've chained 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to count up 3 chains, 1, 2, and then 3, and you're going to slip stitch to this 3rd chain there to close, and that is round 2. To begin round 3, we are simply going to slip stitch over to the chain space, and then we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as a double crochet. Now we're going to put 2 double crochet in this same chain space. 1, 2, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip this double crochet right here. We're going to put 3 double crochet in the chain space. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip the double crochet. 3 double crochet in the chain space, and that is the repeat. I got myself tangled up. That is the repeat for this round. You're going to continue that all the way back around, and then when you get to that original chain 3, you are going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 right there. Don't forget to do your last chain 2, and then we'll meet back for round 4. To begin round 4, we are going to chain 3. And that counts as our first double crochet. Now we are going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. One and 2, and then we are going to chain 3. we are going to skip this chain space and we are going to place 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. And that is the repeat for this round, guys. Chain 3, skip the chain space, 3 double crochets. Super, super easy. You're going to repeat this all the way around, and when you get back to that first chain 3 that we made, don't forget your last chain 3 space. When you get back over here, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of that first chain 3 that we made, and then you will be ready for round 5, and we will see each other again there. Round 5 begins just like round 4. We are going to chain 3, and that's going to count as our first double crochet. Then we're going to place 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. And round 5 is a repeat of round 4 except for these chain spaces right here. In round 4 we chained 3 in between our 3 double crochets. For this round we're going to chain 4. And then 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. We're skipping that chain space. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Well, maybe, if I can get my hook into it. There we go. Double crochet, and we need 2 more. There's our 3 double crochet, chain 4. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around just like we did with the last round. When you get back over here, don't forget to do your last chain 4 and then slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 that we started with, and we will meet back for round 6. Round 6 is a repeat of round 5 and 4, again with the exception of our chain spaces in between. So to begin, we are going to chain 3. As we've done previously, that counts as our first double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and then 2. Now for round 6 we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, we're skipping the chain space and going straight over here to these double crochets, and we're going to place a double crochet in each of those stitches. And there's 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to repeat that all the way back around just as we've done previously. Okay, so here we are at our last double crochet. Previously we have just been doing our chains as normal and then chaining, or slip stitching rather, to the top of our first chain 3 that counted as a double crochet. For this round, however, we are going to end it a little bit differently. So we are going to chain 2, and then we are going to immediately go into a double crochet in the top of this chain 3. And there's a reason that we are doing it this way. This double crochet is actually going to count as a chain 3 for us. The rest of the chain 5, we chain 2, and then this is going to count as a chain 3 for us, because we want to start round 7 in the middle of this chain space. So instead of slip stitching all the way over to the chain space, this is how we are going to end this round, so we can begin here for round 7. So let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? To begin round 7, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, And then we are going to place 3 double crochet in this chain space right here. 1, 2, and 3. Now we are going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we are going to skip 3 stitches, and this is going to begin our repeat 4 double crochet in this chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are going to chain 2, and in this same chain space we're going to place 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to skip 3 stitches and then begin the repeat over again. 4 double crochets in the chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2. 4 double crochets in the chain space. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're going to continue this all the way around, and I am going to meet you back over here and show you how we are going to finish off this round. But you're just going to, in each chain space, you're going to place 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, and don't forget that you have a chain 6 in between them, and we're skipping over these 3 double crochets. See you in just a minute. Okay, so here I am. I need to do my last chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And get my yarn untangled. Now we're over here where we started. We did the first 4 double crochets. That chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And then we moved on to our repeats. So we need to do the other side of that. So we're going to place 4 double crochets in this chain space. Now normally we would chain 2 here, but for round 8 we are going to want to start further back. So just like we closed with the last round, we're going to close this round with a double crochet, and that is going to take the place of our chain 2 that we normally had in between these 4 double crochet groupings. So we're just going to double crochet to the top of that first chain 3. It's right there. And double crochet, and now when we start, this double crochet is going to take the place of the chain 2, and we're going to end up starting over here. And I know that this is feeling a little bit crazy pants right now, okay? It's kind of wobbly, it looks kind of strange. Crazy pants, right? Anarchy. Don't worry about it. I promise it's going to be okay. You'll see soon. Let's move on to the next round. To begin round 8, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet. We're going to place 3 double crochet in this same chain 2 space. Remember, that was our last double crochet that we closed with, that counts as a chain 2, 2, and then 3. So now we are going to chain 2, and in this same chain 2 space we're going to place 4 more double crochets. I know it's going to be tight, but you can fit them in there, I promise. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to skip these 4 stitches. We're going to ignore them. We're going to skip this chain 6 right here, going to ignore it. Skip these 4 stitches right here, and we are heading directly into this chain 2 space, okay? We're going to place 4 double crochets in that chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to chain 2 and place 4 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is your repeat for this round. And again, I know it's looking kind of crazy pants. Trust me, it's all going to work out. You're going to continue this pattern. You're going to skip these 4 double crochets, skip that chain 6, skip those 4 double crochets, 4 double crochet in this chain 2 space, then chain 2, and then 4 more double crochet in this same chain 2 space. You're going to work your way all the way back around, and your last is going to be a chain 6, and then you are going to slip stitch to the top of this beginning chain 3 that counted as our first double crochet, and we will meet back for round 9. Round 9 is a repeat of round 8 with the exception of how we start out. We are going to slip stitch our way up to this chain 3 space. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Slip stitch my way up. Three and into the chain space. Now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as a double crochet. We're going to place 3 more double crochet in that same chain 2 space. Then we're going to chain 2 and place 4 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to skip these 4 stitches, skip this chain 6 space, skip those 4 stitches, and go straight into that chain 2 with 4 double crochets. It's the exact same as round 8 all the way around, with the exception of how we started. There's 4. 4 more after that chain 2. Okay, so you're just going to repeat this all the way around. Remember to skip these stitches at the chain and then these 4 stitches, chain 6, till you make your way back around. You'll chain 6 and then slip stitch to the top of this first chain 3 that we started out with, and we will meet back for round 10. To begin round 10, and this is where a little bit of magic is going to happen, we are going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now this counts as a double crochet plus a chain 4. We are going to skip the next 3 stitches and go into the chain 2 space, and we're going to place a double crochet there without losing our hook, and then chain 2, and then place another double crochet in that same chain 2 space. And we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip 3 stitches. Then in this last double crochet of that grouping, we are going to place a double crochet. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and here comes the magic. We are going to place a slip stitch around all 3 of these chain spaces. This is from round 9, round 8, and round 7. So we're just going to slip under all 3 of those chain spaces, grab that yarn, pull it up, and slip stitch. A little bit of magic. You won't see the final effect of it until the next round though. So now we're going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and this begins our repeat. We're going to double crochet in that first stitch of that grouping, and then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This double crochet in this chain 4 is the same as our first chain 7 right here, but I'm going to go through this with you one more time. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches and then place a double crochet in that chain space, chain 2, double crochet in that same chain 2 space, and then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, skip 3 stitches, place a double crochet in that last stitch of the grouping, then we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Once again, we're going to slip stitch around all 3 of these chain spaces. So just insert your hook under them, grab that yarn, pull it up, and slip stitch. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you are going to place a double crochet in this first double crochet of the grouping. Then you're starting the repeat all over again. So you're going to repeat that all the way around until you get back over here. You're going to chain 4, and then you will slip stitch to the 3rd chain of this chain 7. Okay, and then we will be ready for round 11. To begin round 11, we are going to slip stitch over to this chain space. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 3 more double crochet in this same chain space. There's 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 4. We're going to skip this next stitch here, and then we're going to place a double crochet in the chain 2 space, and then chain 4 once more. We're going to skip this stitch, place 4 double crochet in this chain space. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now we're going to skip this stitch and go right here into this next chain space and place 4 double crochet there. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now we are going to skip over this slip stitch and go right into this chain space. Place 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this brings us back to where we started. I'm going to go through this one more time with you, but we're going to skip this stitch right here and go straight into that chain space with 4 double crochets. This first double crochet is where we chained up over here. So we need 3 more here. There's 1, 2, 3, total of 4. We are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double crochet in that chain 2 space. Chain 4 once more, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip that stitch, go into this chain space, 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip this stitch and go right into that chain space. 4 double crochets. 2, 3, and 4. Skip over that slip stitch and go into the next chain space. 4 double crochets there. And now we are right back where we started. We will need 4 double crochets there. Let me show you what this is doing, because this is one of my favorite parts in the pattern, and I love it when I get finished with this round. We've just completed the angel. It needs to be blocked because I'm working with cotton yarn, so until it's blocked it doesn't actually get its shape. But by putting in these 8 double crochets right there, we create the head, and then there's the angel wings, and there's her little bottom. There's the angel. Makes me so happy. Anywho, you're going to repeat this all the way back around until you get over here, and then you are simply going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 where we started, and then we will be all ready for round 12. To begin round 12, we are going to slip stitch over to this chain space. So we need to snip, slip, slip, and slip. So we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 3 more double crochet in this same chain space. 1, 2, and then 3. Now we are going to chain 2, maybe 1, 2, and now we are going to skip this stitch, and we're going to place 4 double crochet in the chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to skip 16 stitches. So basically all 4 of these groupings we're going to skip and go right over here to this chain space where we started. And we're going to place 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 2, skip that stitch, and go right into the next chain space, 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're just going to keep on with this repeat. You're going to skip the next 16 stitches and go straight into this chain space where you will place 4 double crochets, chain 2, skip this stitch, 4 double crochets. Work your way all the way back around, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of this first chain 3 that counted as our first double crochet, and you will be ready for round 13, and I will meet you there. To begin round 13, we are going to slip stitch to this next chain space. So snip, snip, and slip, one more, slip, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 3 double crochet in that same chain space. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 2, and place 4 double crochet in that same chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we are going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to skip these next 4 stitches and go into this chain 10 space. We're going to place 4 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 2, 4 more double crochets in that same chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to skip these next 4 stitches, place 4 double crochet in the chain 2 space. And there is 4. 1, 2, 4 more double crochets in that same chain space. and we have already begun our second repeat here. This double crochet right here is the same as our starting chain 3 for our first double crochet. So we're already into our second repeat. You need to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip 4 stitches, come into the chain 10 space. We're going to place 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, chain 2, 4 more double crochets. And there is 4, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip 4 stitches. Now we're right back 4 double crochet, and this first double crochet is the exact same as our starting chain 3, which is now way back over here. There we go. So you're just going to repeat this all the way around until you get back over here to this starting chain 3, and then you are going to slip stitch to it. To begin round 14, we are going to slip stitch to this next chain space. One, 2, 3, and then into the chain. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 3 more double crochets in that same chain space. 2 and 3. We're going to chain 2, then place 3 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 4 double crochets. 2, 3, and 4. Now we are going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to skip these 4 stitches, skip this chain space, skip those 4 stitches, and go right into this chain 2 and place 4 double crochets there. 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2, 4 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to skip those double crochets, this chain space, and those double crochets, and come right here to that chain 2 space. This chain 2 space and this double crochet that we are making right here is the same as the first double crochet, our chain 3 right here. It's the same thing. So we are going to place 3 more double crochets here for a total of 4. 2, 3, chain 2, 4 more double crochets. Oop. 2, 3, and maybe if my yarn and my fingers would communicate with each other. There we go. But that is your repeat. 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, skip, 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 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, skip, 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 all the way back around until you get to here, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 space, and you're going to do it all over again because round 15 is a repeat of round 14, the exact same thing. So I will meet you guys back for round 16. To begin round 16, we are going to slip stitch up to the chain space, and slip, 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 and then slip. Now we are going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now we are going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain from the hook. So there's 1, 2, 3 right there. We are going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. And there we go. Now this is going to count as a double crochet and a picot. Now we are going to place a double crochet in this same chain space. Then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and in this stitch we're going to place a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to be doing our gathering once more. So all of these chain spaces right here, whereas last time we did a slip stitch, this time we are going to be doing a single crochet around all 3 of those chains. Single crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We are going to go to this first double crochet here and single crochet. Then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Skip the next 3 stitches. Then we're going to double crochet. Then we're going to make a picot. So we're going to chain 3, 2, and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch to that first chain space. And that is exactly where we started over here. So we're going to do the same thing over again. I will show you guys one more time. In this same chain space after the picot, we're going to make a double crochet. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip 3 stitches, and in this 4th stitch, we're going to single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Come over here, and around all 3 of these, we are going to single crochet. Remember last time we did a slip stitch. This time it's a single crochet. Chain 3, 2, and 3, single crochet in this first double crochet, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're right back to where we started here, so we will need to double crochet and then do your picot and a double crochet. So you're going to repeat this all the way around until you get back to the first chain 6 that we did, that we turned into a double crochet and a picot. Wait, I went past it. Hold on. There we go. So what you're going to do when you get all the way back over to the end with your last chain 4, you're going to slip stitch to the chain 3, the third chain up. It'll be right below your first picot. That's where you're going to end this round, and then we will meet back up for round 17. To begin round 17, we are going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to count as a double crochet plus a chain 3. We are going to skip this picot right here and place a double crochet in the next stitch, which is the double crochet. There we go. And then we are going to place 4 double crochet in this chain space right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to skip this single crochet, skip this chain space right here, and place a single crochet in the next stitch, which will be that single crochet that we used to gather up the chains. And now we are going to chain 3, 2, 3. We're going to skip the chain space, skip that single crochet, and then place 4 double crochets in the next chain space. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to place a double crochet right there in the next stitch, and this double crochet right here is the same as this chain 3. Remember, we chained 6 here, counts as a double crochet and a chain 3. So this double crochet right here is the same thing, but I'm going to show you guys the repeat one more time. So we have the double crochet, chain 3, 2, 3. We're going to skip over this picot, and then we're going to place a double crochet in the top of the next stitch, which it was a double crochet, maybe. Is it double crochet? Then we're going to go right into this chain space and place 4 double crochets there. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip this single crochet, skip this chain space, place a single crochet in the next stitch, which is the single crochet that we used to gather. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Skip this chain space, skip that single crochet, 4 double crochet in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're right back at the beginning. Double crochet here, chain 3, skip the picot, double crochet, 4 double crochet, chain 3, skip the single, skip the chain, single crochet, chain 3, skip the chain, skip the single, 4 double crochet in the chain space, all the way around until you get back over here where we started. And then you are going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain in this chain 6, and you will be all ready for round 18. To begin round 18, we are going to slip stitch into the chain space, and then we are going to chain 3. That counts as a double crochet. And now we're going to chain 3 once more. 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into that first chain to create a picot. There's our picot. And now we are going to double crochet in the same chain space. Now we are going to work 5 double crochets. Oop, maybe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to place 1 double crochet in this chain space, and then we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip a stitch, double crochet in the chain space, and then 5 double crochets. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double crochet in the chain space. And that is the same as our first chain 3, and then picot. And then double crochet. So this point right here is the same as our beginning point. So you're going to repeat this all the way around, 5 double crochets, 1 double crochet in the chain space, chain 3, skip a stitch, then double crochet in the chain space, 5 double crochets, double crochet, picot, double crochet. All the way back around. When you get back over here, you are going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that we first created, and then I will be back to show you the options that you have. See you then. Okay, so we have finished with round 18. That is the last round of the doily / wall hanger, but now you have an option. If you were going to use this as a doily, now would be the time to fasten off and weave in your ends and then do some blocking. You can see how this is curling up here. That's normal. That's because I am using the cotton bamboo blend, and most doilies do need to be blocked out to give them their final shape. Look at the little, look, you see the little angel? I love it. But if you are going to be making a wall hanging out of it, then you're going to need to attach it to a hoop. And attaching to the hoop is really, really simple. You will need a 19-inch hoop for this specific project. Unfortunately, I am filming this in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so I only had 1 hoop, and it's already on the original that I wrote the pattern with, but I do have another hoop so I can at least show you how to attach it on. So to do that, we are going to want to slip stitch into the picot. So we're going to just slip stitch right into there. There you go, there's the picot. And now we are going to take the hoop. So this is a much, much, much smaller hoop than what we actually need it for. And then you're simply going to single crochet around the hoop. Now I've attached it with the picot, but all you have to do is just make single crochets around the hoop. On my 19-inch hoop, using a 3.5 millimeter hook and the Eco Lush yarn, it took me 30 single crochets in between each picot to cover the entire middle of the hoops so you could not see it. That is my preference. It may not be your preference. Let me turn this down just a little bit. It may not be your preference, but that is my preference. So that's all you need to do. You just need to single crochet over to your next picot and then insert your hook into it. Let me show you how to do it. Obviously you would have a lot more single crochets, but there's the picot. Insert and pull up and single crochet right through it. You don't need to block if you are going to hang it on a wall hanging. You can if you would like, because we do have these little picots down there that could do with a little bit of blocking to make them stand out. If you don't block them, then they may not perk up at the top and give the proper effect. That's completely up to you though. There was something else that I wanted to tell you, but now I think I may have forgotten what it was. So it couldn't have been too terribly important. So I hope that this has helped you. I hope that you have enjoyed making this. I know that I enjoyed designing it. I really, really love it when the angels come together on this. And I am going to insert some photos because it's too big to show you all in one screen or all in the frame here. So I'm going to insert some photos for you to be able to see what the finished item looks like, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Please make sure that you hit the like button, that you hit the thumbs up, and that you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.